Hey YouTubers, how you guys doing? Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Unconditional love. This is the download I got today. I got it through multiple sources. It's like unconditional love really, in a lot of ways, isn't what I envisioned it was when I was younger. It is and isn't, right? It's like accepting everything for what it is and unconditionally loving, but in so many ways, when you're in complete acceptance of ourselves and everybody else and the moment, you're in a place of non-attachment. I'm not going to say detached, because it's not like you don't care. It's just non-attachment to the outcome, right? Just being present and being in a loving state. And if you're like that, then if somebody's like, let's say if somebody tries to attack you energetically or something. I'm not saying that this has happened to me, or it actually, in a lot of ways, and this is exactly the way I've always saw it, is when somebody tries to pull on you in a negative way, it's just them. It's a trauma that they're externalizing, right? Because everything's about the self. Knowing that will keep you detached from the outcome, right? I mean, it's like you can just be present for any kind of energetic attachment. Say, look, we're one. Don't judge. Judge not, and that's the only way to be, right? I mean, so try not to judge conflicts. What apparently are conflicts are usually just part of growth, right? Our inner conflicts are kind of clues as to what we have to accept. Now, what we're accepting in someone else may be something that we've already grown past, that we recognize that we had to go through ourselves to accept that part of it, right? For a long time, I didn't accept certain things, and I thought that things need to be changed, but the reality is, now just because they accept something doesn't mean we want to fall into that kind of behavior, right? Let's say somebody's murdering somebody or something, right? Obviously, interesting that those two cards should come out. Obviously, you're accepting that it's just part of a lower nature, but not really just going to start murdering people just because you're accepting it. I mean, is it evil for, an animal to prey on another animal? No, it's just part of a slow ascension process of learning about the self, and that every time that we consume something out there, it's, energetically, it's we're consuming ourselves, right? We're not honoring that thing's sovereignty, if that makes sense. That's why fasting is such a deep spiritual thing. You're getting unattached to emotional attachments that you maybe previously had. Eating is an emotional thing, right? I mean, and people with severe eating disorders it's usually evidence of emotional attachments, where you gotta just because you're kind of covering something up, right? Yeah. Tell me how you guys resonate with this. Anyway, so first two cards I got were these two, right? Hermit and Death. So we're dying to some old part of ourselves and relying on the light within to guide us. Death is always moving through phases, and then there's it's a transitionary period. This is, I don't know if I could put two cards together that signify transition more than these two cards. So the group collective is definitely going through a transition period, and I've felt it in a lot of different ways. 9/11 is in 2 days. The death of something old, the start of something new, right? What are we starting? Five of Pentacles. Empress. I'm just going to, those flipped out like that, so I'm just going to read them this way. Justice, King of Wands, Eight of Swords, the Tower, Knight of Swords, and the Six of Cups. We're got a lot of bringing justice to our lives, still being blind of a couple things. Fast moving energy that's tied to the past. A Tower. I love this card. This is like righteous indignation. Right? Yeah. Preceded by the Tower. Preceded by the Eight of Swords. The King of Wands is a place of authority. So take this as it resonates. Some of this could be external, some of it could be internal in our environments. But I get the feeling that there's an authority figure trying to bring justice in a Tower moment. Either that or you're bringing justice to yourself, but take it as it resonates. Justice is the forefront. And we are in our Empress energy. Judge not, lest ye be judged, right? Justice balances the scales. It could be we're starting to remember some of our early memories from childhood, right? New ideas leading to Wheel of Fortune and shared celebration in our environment. Dying to an old part of ourselves. Beginning stages. With some young, youthful, steady, loving energy. Let's get... move forward. That's our ultimate advice here. Just move forward. Keep moving forward. There's no reason to stop. Self-worth. Every single one of us is worth so much. Doesn't matter who you are or where you're at. Just love yourself. Forget about anything in the past or the future, right? It's all right to set goals. But you're worth so much to me. Every single person I've ever met is worth so much to me. But unconditional love puts you in a place where you can accept, detach, but love every time you can spend time together. Because, I mean, realistically, if you're spending all your time energetically thinking about everybody else, then you're not really focusing on what you got to do for yourself, right? Unless you're spending time with people. But if we can do it in a balanced way, then that's always the best way to be, right? If you never get any time for yourself, then there's never any time for any transformation or self-reflection, right? So... be balanced, yeah. looks like things are changing for the better for you guys. I mean, look at this. It's pretty good. You know, we've got Justice, King of Wands. I mean, there's going to be a Tower, so there's going to be something. Something's going to be motivating you forward, right? Maybe this is my reading, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. I don't know. Love you guys. And I found my old Orfino shirt. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I was missing this shirt, and I went back to our old place, and I had left it there. One shirt that I left, the old Orfino shirt. Maybe it's... Could it mean something? I don't know. Yeah. Maniacs. It's got a maniac on this. If you guys haven't seen the Orfino Maniac shirts. So this is a true story. My dad grew up in Orfino, Idaho, and this is their mascot, Maniacs, because it's home to one of the state's mental health facilities. And that was always what they named it. I mean, even worse, you know, my son goes to school at Richland, Washington, which is the Bombers, and it's named the Bombers because it was, you know, where the Manhattan Project was started. So they were trying to make plutonium in the 40s for World War II, and that was the name, the Bombers. It's got a big mushroom cloud in the back. And actually they changed that because a student's family, a Japanese family, came in and I think complained about it. So they changed the mascot to like a B bomber, right? A big B-17 bomber instead of a mushroom cloud. I don't know. Yeah, people make mistakes in the past. Obviously, it probably wasn't the greatest idea to drop a nuclear bomb, but when you think about everything from a higher perspective, maybe it was supposed to happen. You know, I don't pretend to know. You just have to be accepting, right? That people do things, people feed on each other in a lot of different ways energetically. And we don't have to do it, but we can accept that it's just part of a long evolutionary process. All right? Love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the next time.